Welcome back. This is A7 Naming Polynomials Examples. So right off the bat, during this video, we'll go over multiple ways to name all these terms. There's not one correct way to name any one polynomial. As long as you're describing it right, a variety of answers could be accepted. So, whoops. All right, let's take a look at this one, -10. So -10, well, first off, how many terms? Just one. So we know it's a monomial. Okay. So what is the degree of this? Well, if we look, we don't have an exponent here. But could we do this? We know from A5 that x to the 0th power is 1. So we could call this a 0th degree monomial, or a monomial to the degree of 0. Or if we just have a number here and it doesn't appear to have a variable, okay, so that x to the 0 isn't written there like it was in our original example, we can call it a constant monomial. Okay, so if you put 0th degree monomial, monomial to the 0th degree, 0th degree polynomial with one term, constant monomial with one term, there's many answers that would be accepted here. Okay, so don't get confused by any one way. As long as you're describing it right, you will receive full credit and people would know what you were talking about. So if we go over to this one, we have 10x plus 2. Well, first I'll count my terms. I have 2 of them, so I know it's a binomial. I'm going to look for my highest power. I have x, just x, so we know that's to the first power. So we could call this a first degree binomial, or a binomial to the first degree, or our special term when our highest exponent is just 1, our highest degree of our exponent is 1, is a linear binomial. Okay, so either of those would be accepted, as well as a variety of other ways depending on how you choose to word this. So if we go down to this one, we have 5k squared plus 2k plus 7. We have 3 terms here, so we know it's a trinomial. Okay, so if we take a look at our power, we have a squared there, we have 1 there, and we don't have anything there. So we could call this a second degree trinomial. Okay, and these types of equations are actually what we'll be discussing in depth here in Algebra 2. So we'll realize, just like 10x plus 2 up here, we knew just by looking at that that was a linear equation. It would form a line. This equation, or this polynomial down here, will form a quadratic. So we could call this a quadratic trinomial. Either one works, or however you choose to word that. All right, so if we go over to this one, we have -7x cubed minus 6x squared plus 3x. So 3 terms. Again, we have a trinomial. Okay, we take a look at our highest power. We have a 3 right there, a 2 right there, and a 1. So our highest power is 3. So we could say this is a third degree trinomial. Or we won't deal with a whole lot of these types of equations in Algebra 2. It's more of a pre-calc topic, but we will deal with some. We'll learn that this is called a cubic equation. So this could be described as a cubic trinomial. Okay, pause the video if you need more time. All right, last 4. So first I'll count my terms. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So do we have a special word that we can use to describe a 4-term polynomial? No, we don't. So we'll just call it a polynomial, but we have to describe it. So this one has 4 terms. Okay, just writing polynomial leaves it to the reader's imagination, which we do not want. We want to be explicit here. We want to describe exactly what it is. So this is a polynomial with 4 terms. Okay, so if we take a look at our highest power, we have 0 there, 3, 1, and 4. So this 4 is our highest power, so we could call it a 4th degree polynomial with 4 terms. Or if we have a polynomial to the 4th degree, there's a special word for it. It is called a quartic equation. So a quartic polynomial with 4 terms. Okay. Again, these are not the only 2 ways to describe it. As long as you have the degree in there and how many terms a polynomial has, you are all set. Okay. So let's take a look at this one. Just 1 term, so we know it's a monomial. Okay. And if we look at our degree here, well, obviously this one's our highest, it's 5. So it's a 5th degree monomial. Or a 5th degree equation could be called a quintic equation. So this is a quintic monomial. Okay. Or if you really wanted, you could call it a 5th degree polynomial with 1 term. Again, not the only 2 ways. So let's go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Okay. We look at our degrees. We have 5, 3, 4, and 7. So this 7 is our highest degree. So we have again, a polynomial with 4 terms. And to describe the degree, we actually don't have a special word for it. Okay, so we will just call it a 7th degree polynomial with 4 terms. Okay, once we get to 5, that's our last special word to describe the degree of a polynomial. Okay, so if we had 6 as our highest degree, it would be a 6th degree polynomial with however many terms. Similarly, if we had a degree of 100, it would be the 100th degree polynomial with however many terms. So our last example here, we have 7x squared minus 4x to the 5th minus 10x to the 8th. We have 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. Okay, and we take a look at our powers here. We have a 2, a 5, and an 8. So, no special word. This is an 8th degree trinomial. Okay. Once you have completed these notes and feel comfortable with these examples, move on to the practice sheets for A7 naming polynomials A, B, or C.